Hello, and this is the next episode in the series on how do you bring critical thinking into our curriculum and into our classrooms, as suggested by both the National Education Policy 2020 and the National Curriculum Framework 2023, which is a draft but is soon going to get finalized. In this episode, we are going to be talking about history and geography and probably general awareness of how do you bring in critical thinking when we are discussing this in our classrooms. Just to repeat, we have also said this in our previous episode that there are two hemispheres of the brain, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. It looks like the right one is more creative. They say that those who are left-handed people have a stronger right hemisphere and therefore probably more creative. And you'll find poets and painters and artists and sculptors, yes and yahan. And the left brain is more analytical. By the way, do like and subscribe to my channel if you like the way we present the content, if you like that this is the kind of deep work that we do at Shikshangan. आपको जरा भी ये अच्छा लगे, आपको ऐसे लगे कि आपके अपने काम में इसकी कोई भी मदद हो रही है, तो जरूर सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और जरूर शेयर फॉरवर्ड कीजिए. Let's proceed. How is this different from critical thinking and how is critical thinking different from creative? इसकी भी बात हमने previous episode में की है, ये हम दोहरा रहे हैं. There are more terms for the same thing. तो creative thinking को हम divergent thinking भी कहते हैं, lateral thinking भी कहते हैं. Similarly, critical thinking को हम evaluative thinking भी कहते हैं and convergent thinking भी कहते हैं. ताकि कोई confusion ना हो, vocabulary is plenty, हमें बिल्कुल clarity होनी चाहिए हर लफ्ज की. What do all of these terms mean? It actually means the same thing. We know about divergent rays and convergent rays from physics lessons, all right? And therefore, divergent बहुत सारी ideas जब होती हैं, like poets have and musicians have and artists have lots of different solutions when you generate to a problem. That is known as divergent or creative thinking. And when you try to strategically come to one answer from all of those solutions, you are doing critical thinking. मान लीजिए आपके स्कूल से टीचर्स attrition बहुत हो रहा है and there are lots of teachers who are moving to other schools. You might generate a lot of solutions. शायद सैलरी कम हो, शायद लोकेशन दूर है, शायद ये पसंद नहीं इस तरह का एटमॉस्फेयर वगैरह वगैरह. You are doing creative thinking at that time to try and find an answer. But then you might say, मूल मुद्दा तो सैलरी का है, चलो इस पे काम करते हैं. At that time you have done critical thinking. So whenever you see creative work of poets and painters and sculptors and writers and video producers and YouTube content creators as well, जब आप देखते हैं तो यहाँ creativity का बहुत जोर होता है because everybody is trying to present old ideas in a new and a novel way, simple way for everyone to understand, like Shikshangan does with its videos. मगर एक बात हम ध्यान रखें कि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग के लिए दोनों तरह की थिंकिंग की जरूरत है, both critical thinking as well as creative thinking. Do look at the first episode on this series of critical thinking, जहां हमने बात की है that how does critical thinking lead to problem solving. But today we will go deep down into our classrooms and we are taking an example straight away from geography. भूगोल. इसमें जनरली होता क्या है कि सभी कक्षाओं में सभी subjects में it happens that children just tend to rote memorize. The whole purpose of NEP 2020 as well as NCF, we are saying move children away from rote memorization to higher order thinking. अब ऐसा करते हैं, let's give children a blank country. अब यहाँ मैंने इंडिया का मैप लिया है, मगर आप ऐसे ले लीजिए जिसमें कोई कंट्री नहीं. All right, and let us try and see how can we do a critical thinking exercise on this. हमें पढ़ाना है land forms. I'm teaching about land forms. मगर रटाना नहीं है. So what might I do? I'll say, hey kids, make up a country and you decide where to put the mountains, where to put the valleys, where to put the rivers, where to put the lakes, where to put the plateaus. ये सारे land forms, deserts आप ही डालो ना. ये country तो imaginary है, आप बना रहे हो. Then you say, okay, now that you have done this, tell me where would you like to put the airports? Where would you like to put the factories? Where would you like to put the farms? अब बच्चे सोचने लगेंगे because now they need to think about what kind of a terrain do they require for a farm. नदी के पास होना चाहिए और airport flat land होना चाहिए and so on. So they are critical thinking is into play. ध्यान दीजिए कि critical thinking cannot happen in a vacuum. कुछ knowledge की base हो तो फिर सोच हो, है ना? So we have to give them some context, and this is what we have done for geography. I might also ask them, why do you think some areas might become overcrowded and therefore popular? जैसे बम्बई, okay? कहते हैं कि बम्बई में कोई भूखा नहीं. It feeds everyone. Why does it become more popular? Or where would travel and trade be easy? Where would it be hard? क्योंकि आपने mountains भी तो डाले हैं, all right, in that country. Now, where would it be easy to agree on boundaries? ये तो हमेशा का ज्वलंत एक सवाल रहता है हर देश में, और हमारे देश में तो है ही कि कौन सी बाउंड्री आपकी सीमा उल्लंघन तो होता ही रहता है. Why can we agree on boundaries? Where can we easily agree and where can we not? इसके बारे में भी बच्चे critically सोच सकते हैं simple landforms देख के. After you've done this exercise, you must ask them, how did now your landforms, जिस तरह से आप ही नहीं डाले थे, how did it affect your decisions and explanations? क्या सीखा आपने? Okay. How do you know, or what do you know now about landforms that has become useful? It has become useful because the landforms decided all of these other things that we have challenged the children with. You're raising the bar of thinking in the classroom, even in a geography class, rather than a Rutlow, desert, plateau, etc., etc. Okay? Let's look at one more example from history now. History में तो critical thinking बहुत ही जरूरी है, all the time, because history is never the truth. At least we should talk to our students like that. It is not necessarily the truth. It is somebody's interpretation of the truth. तो उनको एक एविडेंस तो दे ही दीजिए पास्ट इवेंट का. ये हमारे पास सोर्सेज हैं. वी गॉट दीज टेक्स्ट, रिलीजियस टेक्स्ट, ट्रैवलर्स अकाउंट्स, कॉइन्स मिल गए, एडिक्ट्स मिल गए, स्तूपा मिल गया. We have got these evidences, but we should also present alternate evidences and let the students then decide that what could be true, what need not be really true. Okay? All accounts are expressed within one point of view. इतिहास में भी और साहित्य में भी. साहित्य में the literature's point of view and इतिहास में the historian's point of view. ये बात होनी चाहिए. Now let us evaluate one जो कि बहुत ही हमें मालूम है, and that's why I've taken a simple example. 1857, First War of Independence, जिसको वो लोग सिपाही म्यूटिनी कहते हैं और हम कहते हैं First War of Independence. Now we have taught this forever, even as a child I learned. तो हुआ क्या है that recently there has been so much of strife and terrorism, and इतनी दुनिया बटी हुई है, 9/11, 7/7 वगैरह वगैरह, heightened tensions हैं. So when we are doing this, we need to be aware that there are sensitive issues here, and make sure that you deal with this in terms of critical pedagogy. मतलब हर एक का point of view सामने आना चाहिए. ये नहीं कि सिर्फ रूलर का या सिर्फ टेक्स्ट बुक का. Everybody's point of view should be taken into account when you're dealing with something so sensitive as this one. Let's look at literature. अब why की बात होनी चाहिए. Okay. So हम महादेवी वर्मा पढ़ाते तो हैं हिंदुस्तान में, शी द क्वीन ऑफ छायावाद. Okay. मैं मध्य प्रदेश में बड़ी पली, and we know what महादेवी वर्मा is, मगर सभी को हिंदुस्तान में मालूम होना चाहिए. Okay. So we talk about these isms, impressionism, modernism, romanticism वगैरह वगैरह. But we might not be telling our students that, you know, romanticism and छायावाद एक ही चीज है. It means shadows, छाया. It's the same genre. Mahadevi Verma 100 साल के बाद वर्ड्सवर्थ की आई, all right, but she was writing in the same genre. वही freedom struggle तब हमारे यहाँ था, वही romantic movement वहाँ थी with nature and yes. So can we allow our children to see the comparative analysis of Mahadevi Verma's romanticism, छायावाद with Wordsworth? Romanticism, daffodils कहाँ दूर रहेंगे जब हम वर्ड्सवर्थ की बात करेंगे. All right. So one example of how we bring comparison. Whenever you compare and contrast, my friends, we are doing critical thinking. Let's take character analysis. Whenever we do ये जीवनियाँ हमने बहुत लिखी है बचपन से. All right. So character analysis को भी हम किसके point of view से देख रहे हैं. So we do straight character analysis, तो वो author का point of view हो जाता है. जैसे कि मैंने Merchant of Venice, I have taken Shylock, a character in Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, who was known to be, or at least has been portrayed as a very stingy, tight fisted, mean, Jew. वहां पे बहुत सी चीज आ गई. Okay, now compare and contrast the time in which the story is set. उस वक्त उस देश में जहां ये लिखा गया ज्यूस के बारे में क्या कल्पना थी और आज क्या है. What has changed? What are some major influences on this character for him to become the way he has become? How would the story change if the age of this character was different? How would it change if he was not a Jew? Alright, क्योंकि Jews का persecution था. Okay? How does it change if his economic conditions were different यदि वो इतना गरीब ना होता तो? What would have happened? क्या ये कहानी बदलती if it was a woman and not a man in this situation? And so on. Whenever you are doing this, you are actually developing critical thinking. एक general awareness का topic ले लें. As my last example for this, by the way, do like and subscribe to our channel if you find it interesting and if you think इसका आपको जरा भी फायदा हो रहा हो तो जरूर सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और आगे बढ़ाइए हमारे काम को. पेपर में एक अखबार में you saw an article about an animal and human conflict. ये तो होता रहता है. The prompt is the two lions attacked their trainers at a circus. But the critical thinking in the class, newspaper में आया हमने पढ़ा बाजू में डाल दिया. Rather than that, bring it to the class and say भाई ये हुआ. Let's discuss. Let's see आपके विचार क्या हैं. What is your perspective? We are building perspectives when we do critical thinking. So who was responsible for what happened? What should happen now? What responsibilities do we have towards animals? Street animals, animals who kept in the zoo, wild animals, also the animals you eat. You, not me. I'm a vegetarian. All right. What responsibility do we have? Is it fair to put animals in captivity? How can we know whether animals are happy or unhappy? हमारे पास कोई evidence है क्या? Even pets, for example, तो बच्चे बात करेंगे कि no, I have a dog, I have a cat, they're really happy, I do this. So this kind of a discussion must happen. You can extend that beyond what is happening in the classroom or newspaper article में जो दिया है उससे आगे ले जाएं. Is it necessary to conduct research on animals? बहुत research होता है. कोविड में बहुत हुआ. syringe vaccine के लिए हुआ. Is it necessary to conduct research? If so, under what conditions can we accept this research? So when the human race was threatened with COVID-19, तब हमने उसको accept किया. But lipstick and makeup के लिए animal research को accept ना करें हम. Alright, that's a lot of cruelty. So discussion like these in the classroom are very, very important to build the atmosphere of critical thinking. Those were the 3 examples we wanted to give you in this episode. There are several other subjects we can talk about through several other episodes on how do you raise the bar of thinking, how do you encourage critical thinking in the class. Thank you for watching. Do stay with us for the remaining episodes. Do like, subscribe to our channel and do share forward. Thank you.